Welcome back to Civilization 4 Beyond the Sword. This is Noble's Club 192, 475 BC right now, playing as Waina Capac, turn 96, having eliminated Gandhi and Justinian. And currently consolidating territory, I currently have the largest empire with 7 cities. Looks like Hatshepsut is going to be grabbing 5, and it may end up being in this resource cluster area, where she could present a threat due to the fact that she's creative. Provide +2 culture per turn, it can exert some pressure. Thankfully, Constantinople, well, I mean, it's not a holy city. It's getting 7 culture per turn right now, and that'll be in second ring spots. Depending on where Hattie ends up settling the city, this could end up being in a war declaration. We'll see. It's possible that I should have settled this first instead of this and backfilled later, but this is just a stronger city spot, and it came to mind. But, it's understandably something the AI might do. Try to, grab some resources, but who knows? I don't know where the hell she's going to settle that city. It'd be nice if she didn't settle it on a hill, but we'll find out together. So, something to keep in mind when you're playing, well, okay, so this can come to effect when you're playing any game, but particularly something that involves strategy games, and it involves, knowing the rules and the mechanics of the game. What's your goal when you play the game? Is your goal to win the game? Well, how do you want to win it? You just want to take what comes? You need to learn how you can win the game. One of the main elements you'll see, that I'm sure you've seen, in these education series I've done, not to mention my general play from years back when it wasn't just Monarch but Emperor and Immortal difficulty as well, is understanding the technology tree is incredibly important in prioritizing certain things. What's useful to grab at this particular moment. For example, due to my familiarity with the game, I know that currency and code of laws allows me to sustain a large empire. Currency gives me an extra trade route per city. Code of laws provides access to a courthouse, which halves maintenance in my cities. That's very powerful for indefinite expansion. In addition, I can also build wealth in my cities, allowing me to sustain my research slider. And I would build wealth instead of, say, research, because I have libraries here for a research multiplier, for a beaker multiplier, and they're significantly cheaper to build than markets are. And that would be why. But, power that in mind is when you look through too, how do I want to win the game? Which, you're 96 turns in, you may not have a clear idea of how you're going to go about doing it, but it's useful to keep that in mind. If I want to attack with cuirassiers or cavalry, I need to keep in mind that I have to have nationalism, which requires civil service. I'll have to grab philosophy or divine right as well. And if I want military tradition, I'm going to need music, which requires mathematics. And of course, either literature or drama and aesthetics. If I wanted to, say, use cannons, I would have to go down the machinery guilds path, grab gunpowder, chemistry, and steel. Chemistry requires engineering, which requires machinery. Have to keep that in mind too. Maybe if, I'm relying a lot on cottages, because I have a cottage economy, something like the printing press becomes pretty powerful. Villages and towns give +1 commerce. Something like democracy here can double the growth speed of cottages, hamlets, and villages in the towns if, I have, some cottage improvements that are lagging behind because I haven't had the ability to work them as quickly. And also because emancipation is the final labor civic, and the AIs like to run it, you will be hit with stiff unhappiness penalties unless you adopt it. +2 commerce from towns here with free speech. Universal suffrage provides +1 hammer to towns, and you can spend gold you can rush production with gold. But keep in mind stuff like that. Whereas if you want to, if you're not relying on a cottage economy. Like, take for example Nobles Club 191. When I was using windmills, you want to keep in mind windmill improvements, such as electricity, replaceable parts, and when you can actually even unlock windmills, which is machinery. Ideas in that in mind. If you're looking to, say, like, do a construction attack, you'd have to go get construction. If you want to have warfare... If you want to have warfare between these moments, you're gonna definitely want engineering for trebuchets. And trebuchets can even work when you're attacking someone who has a tech superiority over you. Like, you can stack enough trebuchets and attack someone fortified in position who has rifles defending their shit. Like, engineering with trebuchets plus military science with grenadiers can work out well for you until you grab cannons. Or even something like engineers and macemen. I've misplaced macemen. There we go, civil service. Ideas in my mind. And the similar holds true when you get to steel. With cannons, you can attack fortified infantry in cities. With artillery, like, you can, reach beyond your tech reach as well, thanks to the power of siege. It all depends on where you fight your battles, too, out in the open versus inside of cities. Alright, so that was, like, a few minutes of rambling that didn't directly pertain to this game, but understanding the tech tree along with assigning citizens to tile improvements and working improved tiles is important for playing this game effectively. Now, what I'm doing, only on Monarch difficulty, is a far cry from what you would need to do on, say, the top level, Deity difficulty, which, just because I've won games on before, like 1 out of every 10, that was back when I was far better at the game than what I am now. There's just too much, there's just too much rust there. This is a game with Wina Kapak here, just relaxing, a teaching moment. We have Zara settling a city there, which, as far as I'm concerned, is trash. There may be a seafood resource out there, but bleh. Something to keep in mind, though, is that he is creative. And so, he could flip that rice from me. Which may end up being a war declaration. We'll see, or maybe I won't even go to war any other times in the game. I might grab the Sistine Chapel from music, and I won't have to worry about my borders. The Sistine Chapel, by the way, is a great example of, if a neighbor builds that, that is a war declaration on me. I don't tolerate neighbors building the Sistine Chapel. It's a very painful wonder. And not one you want people to have. So, we're just continuing to build and consolidate our stuff. We're going to get currency in 2 turns, which is going to be helpful for our economy. Granting us an extra trade route. Of course, it would be nice if we also, like I could have a worker, road into the AIs to get trade routes from them. We'll see where Hattie ends up building her city. We're also looking to expand and grab these gems. I have a settler that's just kind of sitting here that I'm not doing anything with right now. Other potential city spots as well. There's just a lot that I want to settle. Let's go ahead and actually get into some action here. Hatshepsut is a direct neighbor of mine. Willem is not. Does Willem have open borders through Zara? He does. But obviously not through Hatshepsut, whom, by the way... just because Gilgamesh likes her more now, due to the fact that they share the same religion, she's still the most likely target to go down in this game. I'm still gonna say no, though. That's going to upset him. He's just gonna have to get over it. I can't help him. That sounds like an awful personal problem to me. Alright, let's take a look at these cities and what tile improvements you kids are working. Alright, you're producing a great person that will likely be a great prophet. You're building a settler for me. Working that stuff, and slowly working on a great engineer for me. It's probably really early for a great engineer. What exactly what I would do with it? I wouldn't save it for, like, corporations. If I got one, I'd rush build something. Maybe the mausoleum. I don't know. What I do know is that I want one. Alright. I want to get a border pop here. Okay. That was not as awful of a settling location as I thought it could be. It is on a hill, but it's not directly interfering with this stuff. How am I looking here for a potential whip? Something that I don't do, that you can maximize to greater effect in higher difficulty levels, is the mechanics of converting population into hammers through slavery, and then overflowing that production into other things that you want to build. Like, you know, my settler here is a 3-pop whip for me, and I can't even have an effective conversation about it. Like, a viewer asked about it during the last series, and I'm like, look, I can, like, direct you to, like, a resource about it to give, like, basic overview of, like, mechanics and, like, how production multipliers can assist with that, and the value of converting food into hammers, but just... That's a conversation that I would need. It would have to have its own separate segment, which I don't want to do. Alright, good talk. What are you doing? What is the city doing? I guess I wanted to get extra happiness here from you? I guess that's what I was doing with you. Like, yeah, Buddhist temple, sure, whatever. Let's chop some stuff down. I guess I'll chop at a forest down here. You are building a road? Let's road that tile. Alright, it's going to be some time before we get a border pop here. I will chop this into Alitambia. This city. Even though it doesn't have a production multiplier like a forge, because it does need to build some infrastructure. You need to heal up. And you... How are we looking here in tile? You got plenty of tile improvements to work. You don't need anything. After that barracks, I might finish that. You don't really need to chop here, though. Build a mine or something in case I need to do production here. I guess I'll have, like, you continue to work on tile improvements there.
Everything is worth what its purchaser will pay for it.
Alright, that's good. That will pay off better whenever I actually have, like... When I actually have foreign trade routes. That's what I probably should have sent this worker to do. I can have that guy go. Alright, Zara converts to Judaism. I'm actually going to follow suit. So, with 3 of the remaining AIs running this religion, this is Hattie's religion, that puts me into a power block, a friendly block, with most of the other AIs in the game. Willem is left out on his own, which means instead of Hattie being the most likely target, Willem becomes the most likely target because he's isolated in his own religion. Zara converting to that will spoil relations between these two. You can see now that just on that moment of conversion, Zara's cautious, and that's going to worsen. So yeah, I will take a turn of anarchy hit to convert. I think it's a good idea. I'm not in any particular rush to settle the city right now. Alright, so there's value in me building markets. +1 happiness from fur, ivory, silk, and whale. I'm trading for ivory with someone. So there's definitely value in me doing that here. I guess I will finish that, and I will get a market here too. I'm getting a lot of commerce from the city. Not a lot, but, you know, it's reasonable enough. The city will grow into unhappiness, so I should probably whip something from here. How many workers do I have? 9 workers for 7 cities. Okay. I will put a turn into a worker and 2-pop with that. Let's move this guy forward here. Just push him. You're continuing to build a network of stuff around here, which is good. I want to chop that forest next. That war chariot may be going out there to probably target a barbarian city that's been founded in the northeast coast. Sentry up. Don't do that. Okay. Let's get started on that road. Alright, we ended up getting a great scientist instead of a great engineer, which is good. Need to improve that. Actually, I thought I was gonna... Well, I'll get the tile improvement slower, but you can work on that. Oh yeah, I did say I was going to switch into religion. I love how I immediately, like, probably just flitted out of my brain. Let me take a look at the tech process here. So priority here has alphabet selected. If, like, so... Let's say I had alphabet, then the next priority, I believe, would be philosophy. I could bulb philosophy. That's a valid thing to do in this game. Bulbing philosophy. Philosophy can act as a gateway to nationalism. Philosophy can also act as trade value for the AI. Like, you know, to allow you to, like, grab technologies that you didn't get otherwise. Some AIs will prioritize philosophy more than others. Mansa Musa, for example, can fly up there. And I also need Code of Laws anyway to grab philosophy. But I would not be able to bulb philosophy, because according to the research preference order, alphabet comes first. That's writing, mathematics, scientific method, physics, education, printing press, a bunch of other texts that couldn't even possibly qualify right now, and then alphabet, philosophy. Alright, that's actually good to keep in mind. Alternatively, I could use him on an academy. Which, of course, is valid too. It just depends on, like, the style of game you're running. Like, what like, the long-term ramifications are going to be. Like, me, like, using this great scientist for philosophy is 1,196 beakers right now. Or, I could say settle him in Cusco, where I get an extra 25% of my beaker output. So say right now, we'll just say modestly that's an extra 10 beakers per turn. That doesn't seem like a whole lot, right? You know, I could also settle him as a great specialist to get +1 hammer and 6 beakers, but do keep in mind that Cusco's research output is going to be better. But this also ends up tying into, how do I want to go about playing and winning this map? Like, building an academy is certainly powerful. But if I'm just gonna attack folks with cuirassiers or cavalry, then it's not really relevant. I will end up building an academy, but just end up keeping that in mind. That it's a thing that you want to consider. No, silly Grimith. I actually wanted to take another gander at beaker output for places. Constantinople's is pretty strong as well. Just look at the city. And how many cottages that are riverside. Like, this may end up being a superior site. It would certainly be a superior capital at Cusco. But I have, like, capital loyalties, I guess. I could use the Forbidden Palace or something here, man. But we'll have to get courthouses. Alright, that forest is chopped. 1, 2... I can actually use a road on this tile. Yeah, I'll build a road there. The reason why I want to build a road here is, say I build a settler from Cusco. The settler gets 2 movement, and at this stage of the game, before engineering, a road tile basically just like takes 0.5 movement. So 0.5, 1, 0.5, 2. So I can get that city settled quicker, once I actually decide to make a settler. Scout there from Zara, too. Still haven't gotten to the process of, like, building that yet. This worker is here, by the way, to road into Zara. He probably has sailing, which will... Maybe he's got, like, another coastal city. And there's Zara's creative taking over right there. Christianity's been founded, which means someone grabbed theology. That's no surprise. Okay. I don't care about you working great people anymore. That's fine by me. For now. Build a mine there. You rode there, as I noted. Let's grab code. No one has alphabet yet. But I can trade gold with them because I have currency. I probably shouldn't be finishing these barracks until, like, I'm in the process of going to war, and I also completely forgot to whip this. Well, I guess that allowed the whip anger to calm down. That's fine, I suppose. I wonder what religion's gonna be the AP religion. We'll find out. Let's keep getting you up here. Alright. We'll settle this city now. Let's see how much this tanks the economy, right? We have a forest to chop. That's good. A forest. And... yeah, we'll get that academy built there. Just want to grab code. And then I will stop the research. Okay. It's looking good. Pushing my way towards that marble. My next settler, I do just want to grab this spot, and then I can move out there to grab that marble. Obnoxious, but that's just what happens when creative civs get involved, man. Okay.
To bring about the rule of righteousness in the land, so that the strong...
Still haven't converted religions. Okay. That wheat is a part of my trade network because it's right next to a river. Cuzco will become unhappy, you say? That doesn't sound very good to me, becoming unhappy. How dare you? We'll go ahead and whip that. You won't really benefit from cottages here. You'll grow next turn to size 6. I want you to grow a bit, and then I'll have you produce something else. As for you, why don't we just chop that down. Got that Jim's tile improved so that Ali and Tambio, or whatever, can work on that. Oops. There we go. I'd rather get that courthouse there than a library. Yep, so basically I'm here to help Zara Road. There is a barbarian settlement there. It has its archer defense. I'll switch after I get that settler out next turn. There we go, get courthouses into my build queues here. Let's whip that. Okay. Yeah, I'm not that interested in building a courthouse in my capital. I'm not losing a whole lot of gold due to maintenance there in the capital. Next turn. Ugh. I see you working those trash tiles. Disgusting. I don't want to run another great person here, though, and pollute that pool. I said this city was next, and I meant it. I don't have a defender for it, but I don't expect any barbarian trouble right now. I can pull this guy back later. There's sheep here. You know, something like there's definitely a spot for a city there. I'm just not in a hurry for it right now. There we go. Get that extra happiness. Particularly when cities have forges, too. Good. Gotta wait for more hammers to be put into that. That too, Cuzco building wealth for me. Where do I want to go next on the research path? Civil service gives bureaucracy and irrigation spreading for farms. Bureaucracy would make my capital stronger. Getting calendar would allow me to build the Mausoleum of Mausolus, but of course I'd have to grab fishing and sailing for that. Not a bad thing to do. I do have some seafood tiles here in Delhi. And the Mausoleum of Mausolus is a good wonder. So we'll do that. And then I will probably route up this way. But we'll have to find out another time. I'm going to call an end to the video here. Take care. Talk to you later.